advised, I am live. I am live. Do not contact unless an emergency. I'll copy over.
I'm clear, over.
Yo, 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 there's my beautiful bride. Are you almost home, honey? Was I first? No, Dave, I don't think you were first. You were second. Dutch was first. I mean, barely. Like a whole, minute. Or really, we haven't been on a minute, but 10 seconds. Oh. Hey, it's about me, not Robin. Dadgummit, it's about me. Thank you, Bonterre. Thank you. Afternoon to you, too. How you ever get anything done? Let me tell you. Kids. Let me be flat out honest with you. Kids. Kids. No. We work smart, not hard. Okay? So, we get a lot of stuff done. No. You were like third or fourth, kitty. What's up, sweet tea junkie? You know what? I haven't had a glass of tea today. All I've had is a cup of coffee and water. What's up, Christian? Y'all gotta subscribe to the Christian Jackie Show. He just pops on every now and then, and it's just like a talk show. I was in there before I came here. So. Amanda, how's Papa? How is regime doing, Amanda? Simply in the house. Simply's in the house. Simply's in the house. Women's School Wonderful Farm. How are you doing? Whimsical. I love you too, Christian. I don't do coffee. I drink sweet tea first thing. Yeah. What's up, Perceiving a Life? How you doing, baby girl? In touch with the doc. They're working on the surgeon for him. He's a funny zombie color today. Oh, poor guy. Hey, the moment he stops talking, if he starts moaning and dragging a leg, don't hesitate, Amanda. Right through the eye, into the brain. That's the only thing that kills the zombie virus. I'm telling you, you got to stick him in the brain, or he's just gonna keep coming. Don't let him scratch you, and don't let him bite you. All right. Mom is officially in the driveway. My mama is home. My baby is home. My baby is home. Oh yeah. Whoop, whoop. Whoop. I'm excited. The most beautiful woman in the world is in my driveway right now. And she may or may not be coming back here to give me a kiss. So, what's up, to family? So we're gonna give everybody a few more minutes to get in here. Suburban, hit me up on a private message and I'll explain it to you. You'll get a kick out of it. Did you see what I said, Jason? Where? On my post on Facebook or in the chat? Which one? long time for the most beautiful woman in the world to come back here and give me my kiss. Starting to get a little concerned. Have you seen all the women in the world? Just saying. Yeah, pretty much. What's up, Dark Matter? Cab 7! What's going on, boys? How's it going? Yeah. So, you know, this is, if she doesn't come back here and kiss me, this is gonna be like a huge shot to my ego. I'm just saying. I mean, it's like a 1-2 punch. So we're just waiting. I know she wasn't feeling good. She may have just got right in the tub, but I hope not. I look forward to my kisses. So, sure it's taking a long time though. Christian, I don't know. I hope so, because usually when she's here, a lot more people come because she's a lot better to look at than me. But you never know. Right now, she probably got bombarded by Carol whining and Ladessa running out there, mommy, 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 daddy made us do this today, daddy made us do that today, and daddy, daddy, daddy. So, I don't know. My audio is kind of muffled. You might be hearing the air conditioning. That might be an issue that we're having right now. But it's hot in here and I'm not turning it off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Becky0512, what's up? Alright, so let's get started. Now, thank you, Jatan. Tams Z, and who I haven't seen in a long time, got me this hat. Now I gotta clean it because it's got a lot of sawdust and stuff on it, which I'll probably do it tonight. But Tam Z got this for me via Australia. Came all the way from Australia. See, made in Australia. And let me tell you, this is quickly becoming my most favorite hat. I had one before and my ex-wife just destroyed it. And so Robin got this from me via TMZ because I bought mine when I was in Australia with the Marine Corps. And
you can breathe easy now.
look what I'm fixing to get.
We had a we thought we were missing ducks. When I drove down the driveway, I did not see them. All I saw was that turkey with his head up, and I didn't see the ducks in there. So I come down the driveway and said, "What happened to the ducks?" And they're like, "What?" So we had to run all the way back up the driveway, and that was that was what happened. So
Claire Sage, you gonna get your t-shirt.
I just gotta find a new version.
We just gotta find somebody to make them. Our
Yeah.
our t-shirt person went by the wayside, and you know what? Tangi uses her too, so both Tangi and I are.
I'm sure Tangi's already found somebody new.
No, that's because we're slackers.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't even change my shirt for y'all.
do you need to go change it?
I probably do.
Okay, we'll go change it. Give me another kiss.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, give me this. I'm gonna get some more to drink too. There's the door.
B-Lady, I was hoping that you were going to be in here and had me stressed out. Okay, so I got my kisses. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys, but suck it. I got kisses from the most beautiful woman in the world. No, I mean seriously, Claire. I know we owe you a shirt. It's just we gotta find We got to find a new person. Everybody else that we went to, they want to charge us what we were selling them for, and sometimes even more. So all right. So let's talk now. Lone Star, you better have a notebook and paper out, because this class is mostly for you and for people like you. People that live in an apartment complex, or you live in a neighborhood and you can't have a decent sized garden, and you want to be able to grow some of your own stuff. Well, traditionally we have always been taught, and it's always been ingrained in the brain, to grow a vegetable garden. What do you got to do? You got to have a big plot of land, right? You got to till it up, and then you got to plant it, and then you got to take a hoe, and you got to there are so many jokes I could go right there, but this is a family friendly show and I'm not going to touch it. But you take a hoe and you got to spend hours and hours and hours out there beating the weeds and stuff back, right? And if you're smart, you'll make your rows big enough so that way you and your tiller can go right on down, right? And then people started getting smart, got tired of weeding, and so that's when everybody started paying attention to mulch. And now we got mulch, right? And then people with smaller plot of land said, you know what, there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. So raised beds got introduced, and then square foot gardening, and then came the kind of new age hipster kind of vertical gardening. Now, there's been vertical gardening for ages, ever since the first seed was put in the ground. The first time somebody put up a trellis to let their pole beans grow up the pole. You are absolutely gorgeous in that shirt.
You're a weirdo.
What's that?
This is our broadleaf plantain. Isn't that crazy?
That's a little bit big. You know, you could do one of them sexy dances for me.
No, but you know what you can do with it is your ant bites.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it in here.
It's right in there, and then right there.
We'll do our monkey grooming later, you know, and I'm like picking the stuff out of your beard and picking on your hands.
So, and that's basically the concept of vertical gardening. Instead of growing out, you grow up. So it basically all started with pole beans. People started building trellises to let pole beans grow up, right?
Hey, Sherry.
And then people started going, well, you know, if I could do that with pole beans, I could do that with cucumbers. I could do that with tomatoes. I could do that with pumpkins, watermelon, loofahs, gourds, all that kind of stuff that vines out. People started realizing, hey, I will something, let it grow up. It does nothing again. So, as this new food movement moves forward, Tam's place. I was just talking about you in my hat.
Yep. Tammy got that hat for me to give to you.
I still love my hat, Tams. Thank you so much. People started, you know, aquaponics started taking off. Hydroponics started taking off.
Yep.
So now, there's a lot of rooftop gardens.
Yeah. Especially like in New York, like in the cities.
Oh, Bonterra, I got one, but watch, I'll get another one.
You got two. You got,
I got
free.
I got free kisses. You know, and they don't have, you know, a rooftop is a very limited space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And you don't have soil up there, so they've learned how to incorporate container gardening with vertical gardening as well.
Right.
Which is really cool.
So, how do we take some of this information and some of these practices and scale it down to somebody like Lone Star or Maria, who live in an apartment in the middle of the city, but they want to become more self-reliant?
Sherry.
She's not letting that go.
He wears that hat. He just doesn't like to get it sweaty and dirty. One of the questions was, could you grow pickling cucumbers in a hanging basket?
Yes.
Yes, but you have to have a pretty decent size hanging basket because of the nutrients in the soil. I think you would, don't you agree? I would think you would need a decent size. Now, what we have seen a lot of people do is hanging buckets, 5-gallon buckets, and doing tomatoes and cucumbers and things like that.
Now, you guys know, if you don't know, by now you should, I am a huge advocate about keeping crap out of a landfill. About working together, being nice to one another, and working together to save this planet. So with that in mind, I'm going to show you guys some pictures, okay? And these are just some ideas. Now, these things that I'm fixing to show you are things that you guys can incorporate in your apartment in a windowsill, or you pick a window. And now, granted, you more than likely will not be growing enough to open up a stand at a farmer's market.
Right.
But you will be growing enough that you'll see a difference in your grocery bill and the taste in your food.
And your health.
And
Love
your
you,
health.
honey. See, it's so funny. When I'm not here, you wish I was. When I am here, you're like, I wish you wasn't here. Just wish I would keep my mouth shut. That was my best Hope impression.
Yeah. Okay, so here's picture number 1. Okay?
Ah.
Now, you look, and all they did was take some old mayonnaise jars, mustard jars, canning jars, mason jars, okay? And then they took a hose clamp and screwed it to a chunk of wood and hung it on a wall.
Very cool idea.
Now, these are great ideas for herbs.
Yes.
For your herbs.
And not ones that you want to grow a lot of.
No. These are more for kind of like your basils, rosemaries, cilantro, oregano.
And really, while this is a great idea, I don't know that this is necessarily practical.
Well,
It's cute.
It's just for the season. You're not
Right.
and you've got to be. This has got to be one where you're using those a lot. The only issue that I have with these bowls
Is what is said there.
Said where?
No drainage.
Yes, wholesome roots
Yep.
is exactly right. No drainage. So you have to be extremely careful with your watering. It can be done, but you've got to be very vigilant with your water. And you would have to probably use a potting mixture of something that's like Miracle Grow moisture control.
Now, can I ask you a question? Could you swap this over to plastic and drill holes in them?
Yeah, because it would be a food grade plastic, but the only problem with drilling the holes in them is if you're hanging that on your wall,
well, you're going to have the dirt, right?
You're going to have the stuff on your wall. So you'd have to fabricate some type of thing to catch. D25, that is an excellent idea. Water them with ice cubes.
Great idea, D. I love it.
That is a great idea.
There you go.
And
now Sherry had another one. I'd fill the bottom third with gravel. Make sure that when it's watered, do not water above the gravel. That's a good idea as well.
Yeah, because then you can put the water in there, and when it rises above the gravel, you just let the plant use what it needs. You're home now. I can close that out.
Yes.
And then it would almost act like a self-watering container, but you have to be careful because you do not want root rot.
Right.
Now, when you look over at the other picture, they took a pallet and they filled the pallet up with dirt and then started growing in between the slats. Willow Creek, you guys got snow today?
Snow in May. Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
But the pallet idea does work. That's a good idea. There are definitely different types of containers. Like, I know you guys seen them in Walmart. It's a beautifully crafted pot
with
little side holes in it that people stick like strawberry plants in there. They make their spaghetti garden or pizza garden in there. Also, wonderful ideas.
Well, we've seen that with that movie that we watched the other day, that In Defense of Food, where they were doing the hydroponic system. It was basically the same thing. They took looked like maybe a 2-inch or 4-inch PVC pipe, and I'm sure whatever medium they have in there, whether it's just the water or what.
Water.
But they took, I'm sure they have something that holds the seeds, or they start them out or whatever it is. But they put them inside, they drill the holes in the PVC and put the plants up and it's vertical gardening as well, so.
Now, here we come into the more creative stuff. Lone Star, this is where you really need to kind of put pen to paper, okay?
Would a pallet work for cucumbers? I still worry about the issue with the nutrients in the soil. That's my biggest thing with container gardening.
Now, I have done this with Robin in a classroom. Now, we didn't actually do like this in this particular picture with the 2-liter bottles.
But we did successfully.
Yeah.
We successfully grew some heads of lettuce and some tomato plants, all with 2-liter bottles. I'm not kidding you. It was the coolest thing ever.
Now, you can literally place them like this and run them up and down a window and grow basically whatever in these 2-liter bottles. You could literally probably walk down your street and find 2-liter bottles that it doesn't cost you anything. You cut them out, you put a soil medium in there, and you tie. Well, what you would do is drill a hole in the bottom, or plus a hole in the bottom of at least for this in the picture. How they did this is they put a hole in the bottom and they just tied a knot, ran the string out the bottom and up, and then just tied it around the neck of the bottle and put the cap back on. Cut the hole, boom. Now, how you deal with the drainage issue with these is very simple. Unscrew the cap a little bit, twist, tip them over, and all the excess water is gone. Again, when you are doing this kind of gardening, you really don't even, you have to be vigilant with your watering. That means you got to pay extra special close attention to it. You've got to pay attention to that soil that's in these type of containers, because you just can't take a watering can and dump a bunch of water on it and then it sits forever. You have to a little bit at a time, okay? And then you just keep that soil moist. You don't want your plants to wilter and then you put a bunch of water in there and then they come back and then you leave it and let it go dry. No, you want to keep it.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Would micro irrigation work with this?
Well, I mean, you could.
Could you drill holes in the bottles and maybe put set up your micro irrigation so that it dripped into the bottle? like a soaker, almost like a soaker hose, where you could poke the holes in each one. I mean, you'd have to set it up, but
yeah, you'd have to set it up, but you could
that would
do
be
that.
cool.
You could run the one main line up and around your windowsill, and then run bubblers to that, and then that that would probably work really,
another
really well.
cool one you could do. What if you did these almost at a tilt, and you did it almost like a fodder system, where it would run off into the next one and drip off into the next one and drip off only a little bit of a slant, so that any drainage excess would fall into the next bottle, and any drainage in the next one would fall into the next bottle, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, you could probably do that. I really like the drip irrigation idea though.
Either one, I mean,
Because all you'd have to do is get a solar powered pump, and connect it to your main tube, and then run that up around your windowsill, clamp it off, or probably just run it up one side, clamp it off, so the tubing that you would need would only be 3 or 4 feet, and then you could put a bubbler in each one, and then let it sit down in a reservoir down in the bottom, and then use that solar powered pond pump or aquarium pump, turn it on for 45 minutes first thing in the morning, and then come home from work, let it run for 45 minutes again. If you're lucky enough to be able to go home for lunch, plug it in, let it run at lunchtime. And I think that would be fantastic. That would be a phenomenal idea.
So Sherry's saying when one drains into the other, you have to watch the salt buildup? What does she mean, salt buildup?
Well, a lot of that depends on the medium that you're using, and the water that you're using.
Suburban says if I did this, it would not look that cool. I know, I have the feeling. Like, my favorite thing to look at is going to Pinterest or going to Google and just type in Pinterest fails, and it'll show you like what the picture was supposed to be in Pinterest, and then what yours shows up looking like. And I could see this one, like I could see this beautiful picture of this wonderful garden with all of these beautiful models, and then I can see somebody's that's all jacked up, like just looks like trash. I mean, you definitely have to, so.
Yeah, salt is naturally occurring. Yeah, I get that.
I don't know. I mean, again.
It depends on also depends on the fertilizer.
And that's a good thing. You could feed or water with a compost tea also, and that would help put more nutrients back into
Gino,
the
you're
soil.
exactly right. That's exactly right. If you could get your hands on some poo and turn it into tea, you could then dump that compost tea into that container.
Right.
Your whole setup could probably cost you about, your most expensive thing would probably be the micro irrigation stuff. And if you're able to go in nowadays and buy it in sections, you could probably buy a 10-foot section and then a couple of the emitters.
Well, even that really nice one that Kitty got was only like $30 or $40, wasn't it? So I mean, you're not talking a whole lot,
That would be your only expense, would be your micro irrigation system. So maybe, let's just go on the high side and say maybe you spend $50 to $100, depending on the solar powered pump price at the particular time and stuff like that. And then, I mean, yeah.
Well,
and Angie's Pantry's got a thing. You could pick up a bag of Black Cow, set it off to the side,
let it just,
and put some in some water and let it sit for a couple of days and dissolve, and
or put it in a bucket and drill holes in the bottom of it, and when it rains, collect the stuff out the bottom. There was something that I was thinking about when.
yeah, Wholesome's Roots Like Us. I got plenty of poo if you want to come pick it up.
Why?
Now, the other picture that I have for you, Lone Star, of another way to do things is just like that.
There you go. That's basically the same idea as the last one.
But that incorporates Robin's idea a little bit, though, too, because you could put holes in the bottom of this one and let it drain, drain, drain.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're literally just running the wire up through the bottles and running it that way. And you can grow all of your lettuces and see. And here's the other nice thing about that, and we're going to put this into play here on our homestead this year. You get to do a little when you're doing vertical gardening. Believe it or not, the folks in the apartment, yeah, they're not able to grow as much, but their season is longer and it's more climate controlled. Because as long as they're getting the sunlight, they're golden. But just because it's 1,000 degrees outside and I've got hobbits throwing rings in my pond, Lone Star in Texas can still be growing leaf lettuce because he keeps his house at the hottest during the daytime when he's not there, 80 degrees.
It's still ideal.
Yeah, it's not gonna burn up his lettuce. So you can grow all kinds of leafy greens this way. You can space things out and grow broccoli, cauliflower. Now, granted, you're only going to get one per little container, but you are learning about gardening. You are thinking outside the box, and you are bettering your health and your lowering your grocery bill.
I know what I was thinking. It is graduation, 4th of July. It's that summer time of year when everybody's having get-togethers and parties. People are bringing 2-liter bottles to parties.
Yep.
Be the person that keeps them out of the landfill. You know, I mean, you can find these. So.
Yeah, Lone Star, you do this inside if you want to.
If you can keep it lit, if you've got an area where it's going to be...
Now, if you got a back patio on your apartment, I don't know if you're first floor or second floor, but if you got a back patio on your apartment and that whole patio gets good sun, then you can run these puppies straight up and down all the way around. Look, I would not, if I was in a situation where I was on like the second floor and I was trying to do some urban homesteading, look, I would be the guy that had stuff hung up that once everything was green and going, that you couldn't see it. You couldn't see my apartment from my upstairs patio. That I could go out there and trim lettuce naked.
I'd almost go buy those, you know, the trellis, you know, the piece of lattice work or whatever. I would literally get, you know, whatever container I could do to where I would have, you know, a line, whether it be buckets or whatever, and I would just start growing vertically all the way up that trellis.
Yeah,
and
you
just
can do
fill
that
it up.
too. Like you can take, if you've got a back patio that gets a lot of sunlight, you can take 5-gallon buckets, stick them on the patio, and grow tomatoes and cucumbers. You can put little grow boxes out there and grow your squash, your zucchinis,
Right.
stuff like that. The only downfall with some of these type of container things that we're showing for the windowsills and running up and down a window, you really...
I still do that, Jason. My neighbors would be happy if they couldn't see me.
So that's why I just love you, man. There's just a whole bunch of man love going out today. The only downfall to these 2-liter bottle containers is you'd have a really hard time doing your squash and your zucchini. Just because of the size of how the plant goes and then how the fruit forms on the plant.
Right.
But anything else, golden. Like one of the things that we are going to incorporate into this homestead is we're going to put our strawberries high in the sky. I am so sick of losing strawberries to birds, or not necessarily birds, to rabbits, squirrels, and kids. Done. I'm going to put them high where they need to get a ladder, and if I can see them on the ladder, I can shoot them off with a Nerf gun or airsoft gun or something.
Great. So I'll have fresh strawberries, but I'll have a hell of a hospital bill. Well, you're sitting over there chewing on your strawberries while she's getting her arms set in cast. But I got my strawberries.
You know, it's. Oh, I went out and looked at those strawberry plants today. There were no. There was like the other day. There was like, I don't know, a good 20 strawberries on there. They all must have riped. Because I went out there
Oh, we've had that happen.
today. None.
My
What?
pigs got out and ate my strawberries.
Been there.
Kiddie pool gardening. No, we haven't. Because
That's another good idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's another wonderful thing. You can turn a kiddie pool into a square foot garden.
Cab 7's leaving. Bye, Cab 7.
Later,
See you
Cab.
later.
Thanks for coming by,
I
brother.
don't know any Landos that get enough sun. Yeah. Speaking of recycling, cut the bottom off the container. What plants come in and work them again? Yes, you definitely can do that. That's what we do with 2-liter bottles.
What?
Is basically she takes the container, cuts the bottom off, and flips it over so that it's catches all the moisture.
Yeah, that's a good self-watering container.
Yeah, as well. Mm-hmm.
All right, Lone Star. Any questions? The key thing with vertical gardening is don't think horizontal, think up and down.
Perfume up some stuffed animals and hang around. No rabbits or deer.
I'm gonna have to try. Well, yeah, but what about kids? Because I swear, Ladessa's the one that ate all those strawberries.
That's why I'm not too terribly upset about how many muscadines are on.
Because you know, she really didn't ask about breakfast this morning.
She's probably eating strawberries. Hey Jay, better late than never.
All you gotta do is do it, brother. Think outside the box.
And you can start small, keep going. I mean, like with us, those kids, when I did that stuff, all the parents were like, they thought I was nuts.
You know, fish tanks are wonderful. So you can put the soil in a fish tank,
Well, you can grow good root crops.
and you
that
can
way.
grow your root crops that way.
Can we put a net on the strawberries? Yeah, we could.
We could. But that's not gonna stop a 8-year-old.
Odessa, she's 9. She turned 9. She's almost 10. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Is it too late, do you think, to plant some things? No, I'm still planting. It's never, look here, it is never too late. I'm getting ready to put my pumpkins in now because I'm taking part in that great pumpkin challenge. Yeah, the deadline is October 15th. The deadline is October 15th. And so we're going to be putting them in a container, and we're going to put them in the area where the greenhouse is going to go. And so we started mowing that a little bit today, and I started moving the big mulch pile today. Grandma's homestead. How are you doing?
Buying new plants.
All
Woohoo!
right. So we're going to be taking, and that way that gives them the access to run just about anywhere.
Different subject. Do you close the worm bin up when it freezes? And do you need to water the bin?
I keep my bin, I don't keep it closed all the way to where it's sealed because for air. I put a shim in there and then we put a block on top of it. I keep it damp like a wet sponge. And
Oh, that's an awesome idea.
so that way
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Keep it damp like a wet sponge. Because we need to check ours because we're not getting a lot of worm tea out of ours. Jason, did Go for Green restart his pumpkin challenge? I joined the first one when he posted it. Believe it or not, Kitty, the pumpkin challenge didn't originate with Go for Green. It originated with Life in the Farmland and Road to the Farm. And Daniel, just like me, joined it. Now, this Great Pumpkin Challenge, you can go see either, I got to do a video on it, and Go for Green's done a video on it, Road to the Farm's done a video on it. I'm not sure if Life in the Farmland's done theirs. But basically, what's going to happen is you have until October 15th. On October 15th, all entries must be in. And it's going to be who grew the biggest pumpkin. They're going to try to do, I guess they're going to do weight, and you're going to measure
diameter or whatever.
measure the pumpkin out.
Circumference.
And then one of the winner is getting Life in the Farmland is throwing in some hats that say Life in the Farmland. Rose of the Farm is throwing in t-shirts. Go for Green is throwing in t-shirts. I'm throwing in a bottle of mead if there's any left by then. And as more people grow, the prizes are getting bigger. Now, if you are participating in this, another thing that's going to happen is everybody's going to save their seeds for their pumpkins this year, and they're going to swap.
Do a swap. That would be cool.
Just to see if it's the same person winning every year with his breed of pumpkin, or if he took my pumpkin seeds
And made it bigger.
and just did a better job than me in there. And environment has a lot to do with it. You know, me and Daniel are at a disadvantage
Yes.
because it gets hot here and pumpkins will burn up quick. So
Yeah.
Daniel, we really gotta keep ours uber moist. One of the reasons why I'm doing mine the way where I'm putting it is that way it only gets mid to late afternoon sun.
Yeah, so it
It
doesn't
should
burn up.
still get enough, but we'll see.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. What contest is this? Go look it. We don't have any honey, Sherry. She's funny. She's cracking me up with the chopped liver thing.
B-Lady, this is the Great Pumpkin Challenge put out by Road to the Farm and Life in the Farmland. And so...
Pumpkins cross-pollinate bad. Am I hearing excuses already? Pickle worm's gonna get them.
Yeah, so not in my house, eh? But we'll see. The last year we tried pumpkins and they just burnt slap up.
Well, they were great. What's really funny,
When we weeded around them,
yeah,
then they burn up.
when we had grass just totally bombarded the area, they did great. Then we started to weed the grass around it and they shriveled up and died. It's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
So uber excited about that. Now, we got about 15 minutes to go, so this is where I'm going to start to take questions. Okay, so if you have any type of gardening question, please put it in all caps, and Robin and I will try to answer them. Huh? And so while we're waiting on the first question, I want to talk about some things. First, tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be an awesome day. Tomorrow, during the morning water break, I am going to have a guest. Wholesome Roots is going to be joining me tomorrow on the water break, and we are going to talk about the event that they are having on their farm. Now, if you're not subbed to Wholesome Roots, open up, just go to that 3 tabs where it says go to channel, boop, sub. They're fellow Georgia people just like me, so they may talk a little funny like I do, but that's okay, because we're the only ones in our right mind. They're just on the other side of the state. So they literally have the Georgia Farmers Market. Oops, I hope that didn't break. They have the Georgia's Farmer Market Association coming out for a farm work day. Wow, so jealous. So we're going to be talking about that event on her thing, and her very first live stream ever is going to be after our special live stream tomorrow. Our special live stream is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. They're going on at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we need to blow up her chat box. There's 48 people in there. I want to see 68, 78, 108 people in her chat box. So let's go and show them some love tomorrow. And I'll remind you guys tomorrow. Now, tonight, Mom and I are going to take a little break. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we are special guests. That's right. Some people think we're special.
Some people. Most people are smart and realize we're not that special.
We're going to be on the Bee Lady Apiaries live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Now, I'm there just to be eye candy because there is no way on God's green earth I'm going to get a word in edgewise between my wife and Bee Lady. It ain't happening. I'm just going to sit there for an hour like this. And then if they ask me a question, I'll be like, oh, what? But I think we're going to talk about the difference between raising honeybees in the South versus the North. The different things that we have to worry about. And the different things that we have to battle.
A lot of people think you're special, Jason.
Then, after that, yeah, I saw that.
I love you, Bee Lady.
Then, after that, the true live streamers on Wednesday night.
Yes, I got it, Bee Lady.
Simply 7 is coming on after Bee Lady.
Yep.
Now, if you don't know Simply 7, you are missing out.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna throw it out there real quick. They're not your typical clean cut all America homestead what you think it is.
No, sir, I didn't.
I say they are red-blooded, hardcore, to the core Americans. Nobody, and I'm gonna put this out there just like this. I'm a vet, okay? No, I haven't met anybody, especially on YouTube, anybody that does as much for vets as 2 channels. Simply 7 and Old Ways, New Times. Simply 7 does a lot more in the public eye, promoting a lot of vet stuff, where Mama Old Ways, she just goes straight to Congress. That
and locally. I mean,
Yeah.
she tries to help out, like, out through the internet to help people, but she and her daughter, they
look, Congressman cringe when them 2 come in. But Simply 7, it does radio promotions and stuff for vets. Parts of radio shows. She's trying to get a lot of things going on for vets. And let me tell you something. Anytime I'm having a bad night and I don't want to wake my beautiful bride, I can come and I can hit Skype and it don't even ring. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning and they're dead asleep, I don't get 3 rings before she answers it. And she says, what's the matter? And she'll stay on with me. And she gets it and she understands, and they're just super uber kind folks. Even though she's afraid of sharks, she can't watch Jaws with her. But check them out. They are at 9 o'clock.
Very cool.
Yeah. So.
Alright, y'all. It's almost time.
It's almost time. But did one question come up, or were you just
no.
not paying
Simply 7. Yes, that was who we're talking about.
Yep. Simply 7, Ginger Rose.
Yep. They are fantastic, fantastic people. Yeah, so we'll be on tonight talking about different stuff. Should be very, very cool. And just like that, shin kick. Susan, I did see your terracotta thing, and that's pretty cool. It's a She posted it in the Big Bear homesteading.
Okay,
Thing,
I have
so.
to do that.
I'd stay up with you, Jason. I'd even let you be the little spoon.
Such a dork.
Awesome. Are we gonna get to see him at some point?
At some point, if I gotta go to Texas, I'm gonna drive to Texas, and first I'm probably gonna smack him upside the head, and then I'm gonna give him a man hug.
Big old man hug. Cause he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he right now. I
So-
say Lone Star.
Go ahead. I'm on.
Lone Star Living has the best survival homestead tag video out right now. He made some really good points this morning.
What about why?
What plants should tomatoes follow?
Ooh.
See, here's the thing.
We don't really.
No, I mean, I'm trying to think. Yeah, anybody that's not in the nightshade family, so not potatoes.
And she made a good point. You don't want anything that's gonna have to suck a bunch.
Right. But I guess you let us know. You're talking about when you're rotating your crops for the following year.
Yeah.
Because tomatoes take so stinking long. I don't see you having that long of a grow.
You mean for the
Season,
following year is
yeah.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So I would probably follow them with wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. What plant should tomatoes follow? Okay.
So after.
So after that, then I would put tomatoes after you had a bean crop there, because beans like to return nitrogen to the soil. You could let them follow brassicas. You could, but you couldn't let them follow potatoes. I wouldn't follow after where you had the peppers.
I don't rotate tomatoes, but need to create more area for them. Did someone say tacos?
I would let them follow just about anything but
There you go.
yeah, beans, lettuce, peas. I wouldn't let them follow peppers, and I wouldn't let them follow potatoes.
I do onions first year. They require crap dirt.
Yeah.
And they also help break up.
Yeah, they help. Then turnips, yeah. Susan's on the right path. And then a potato or something, and then followed up with beans and peas, and then
What about cucumbers or squash?
yeah, you could. You probably could. You could probably get away with it. And again, you could. And are you amending your soil with compost? Because that's the main thing. To be honest with you, I probably should more, but I really don't pay attention to crop rotation like I should. And the reason being is because we're just dumping pounds upon pounds of
Nutrients
compost
back into the ground
every season.
Yeah.
Now, the next couple of years, I'm probably going to pay attention to it hardcore because we're going back to tilling. Because I just got to beat all of this carpet grass first, and that's the only way that I know to do it without spraying a bunch of junk on my garden, and I refuse to do that. So I'm going to put the wood chips away for a while and go back
Get the
to
carpet grass under control first.
tilling. And then we're going to be making our hand baler that Sherry Cherry led us onto tomorrow. And we're going to start baling up our grass. And if we don't, we're going to try to get as much as we can. And whatever we don't use through the winter, we are going to use that as our mulch for the following year. We're also going to be incorporating a fodder system to help us not use as much hay during the wintertime, so that way we can use the hay as mulch. Okay, yeah. Then I wouldn't stress about it too much. I mean, tomatoes use a lot of the nutrients in the soil. They're what they call a heavy feeder, and Wholesome Roots said that. So as long as you're amending it, keeping an eye on it, you know, you should be good to go.
Well, that's part of the reason Susan was saying you keep a map each year and don't duplicate your plants.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's one of the reasons why we like to use
Grow veg.
that grow veg, because cover with clear plastic next winter.
Well, what I'm going to do is overseed my garden with winter rye. So then that way, when it comes back around, I can till that in, and whammo, I got green manure in there, and plus the winter rye, once it hits a certain temperature, it won't come back up, it'll die out. And so that's why it does that, and it'll also help keep this carpet grass choked out. I'm hoping. That's the theory anyway, and that's the rabbit that we're going to run with. And so we'll see. We'll keep you guys, we'll do videos and keep you guys abreast of it and everything. Alright, so we got about 4 minutes left. Alright, Jason, Robin, I got to get going. I have to drive home from work. And then church, thank you so much for this stream, Jason. I'm going to refer back to it. Alright, cool. And Lone Star, you know, just hit me up. I know you both like to bust my chops because I don't get back to you like right away. But you got any questions?
How you ever get? Oh no, that was Dutch.
Send me pictures. Blah blah blah. We gotta, Lone Star, you and I gotta hook up on Skype. Is the best way for us to really reach each other. So, you guys, we will see you tonight on the Bee Lady Apiaries live stream, where I'm not going to do a lot of talking, and I'm there just as eye candy. So,
because you are so beautiful.
So, you guys have a wonderful night. Remember, be kind to one another.
Ooh, real quick. Hey, I got some drywall scraps. Can I bust it up and put it in the garden? There's gypsum. I don't know. Is it chemically treated?
Theoretically, you can, Riggy Wallace. I wouldn't. If you've got rabbits, I've heard of people putting chunks of drywall in their rabbit cages so the rabbits can lay on them. I wouldn't. But
just
that's
never
just me.
know what's in stuff like that nowadays.
You know, so I wouldn't do it.
But the gypsum, I mean, I would think the gypsum, it's like if it was, you know, if you knew what was in it, I would think the gypsum would be good for the soil, but
I wouldn't
you
do
never
it.
know what's in there.
Alright guys, remember, be kind to one another, love on one another, and remember, do your part. If each one of us just did our own part to help take care of this planet, it would be a better place. Remember that. So thanks guys, and we'll see you tonight during the Bee Lady Apiaries live stream, where we're talking beehives, north versus south. The South will rise again!
Bye y'all.
Bye.